Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar.
First recon's at Camp Forlorn Hope.
Johnny Guitar.
Oh, now we got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is
Welcome back.
New Vegas, and each and every one of you is
The station's been silent for quite some time now. I guess this confirms what we've all feared. Thanks for letting me know. I'll switch over all radio broadcasts to the new encrypted channels. This ought to help us stay a step ahead of any spies. Before you go, I've got another job available.
remains uncertain.
We've received some disturbing reports from some of the ranger stations. Heavy casualties at Alpha, super mutant legionaries at Delta. The weirdest one has to be the Great Khans and their trained death claws at Foxtrot. These reports can't be accurate, can they? I know you've already been out there, but could you do me a solid and confirm these reports with the rangers who sent them in? Nothing is severe. Charlie seems to be getting a lot of extra medical supplies for some reason, while Bravo hasn't requested a resupply in a while. Echo has been reporting heavy Legion activity down on their end, but that's about it. Thank you, and good luck.
Take me out of this world Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh,
Yeah?
my darling, love me.
No, I didn't. You might hear that kind of nonsense from a drunk trooper on the strip, but not from me. The Legion doesn't have super mutants. That patrol was wiped out by its own incompetence. A couple of the troopers were fooling around with a grenade when it went off.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever,
This is a military outpost. Why are you here? Have you ever heard the story of the bomber that crashed into the lake before the war? Supposedly it's mostly intact, even after all that time. High casualties? We've had one broken ankle, but nobody at this post has died. There are other ranger posts around. Reyes might have mixed up the report. Any injury, illness, or death gets radioed to Ranger HQ at Camp Golf. Chief Hanlon and his aides compile the reports and assign reinforcements as needed. And they're not needed here. Do a fucking head count then. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be. Reyes got the numbers wrong. Not much more to it than that. Sounds like we're running prim now. I'd still rather take my leave at the Strip.
Yeah? Yeah, it's a damn shame. There was a lot of talk about expelling her from the Rangers, especially once the gambling and drinking started. Being posted here is her second and last chance, and so far, I'm not impressed. Link's jumpy all the time, and the others are sick of it. You must be mistaken. I haven't filed any report like that. Trained death clause? I would have remembered that. If someone is saying I filed that report, that's a load of crap. I won't have my name attached to a clerical error.
Oh, hey. Watch out. Oh, I talked to the cashier at Gamora into forwarding me some chips. I was convinced it didn't go so well. The Omertas were nice and said they'd give me some time to pay them back. They also said if they had to talk to me about my debt again, they wouldn't be nice the next time. Watch out.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for Longplay. Where?
The only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me.
Welcome back.
And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold.
I knew it. Every one of the false reports was signed off by Chief Hanlon at Camp Golf. But why would the Chief manipulate the reports? I need you to take everything we found to Chief Hanlon and confront him with it. I don't want to make this public unless we have to. Bye.
It's me again, Mr. New Vegas, reminding you that you're nobody till somebody loves you. And that somebody is me. I love you. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. We're hearing rumors that Caesar may have been assassinated by an unknown party. It is currently not known how the assassin was able to evade security. Once again, Caesar dead. A shocking turn of events whose impact is anyone's guess at this point. In other news, beef prices around the New Vegas Strip have dropped significantly following an agreement between the Ultralux and Brahman Baron Heck Gunderson. That news was brought to you by the Tops Casino. You'll dig us, baby. We're the Tops. In New Vegas, we know the pain that numbers can bring us. Well, so does Guy Mitchell, who's got heartaches by the number.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs. The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up, but it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you? I could tell you a lot if you had the time, but at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know? Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers. Kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail. Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well. There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town and 5 men with .308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders. Aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit. They had planted an NCR flag over the well, and they would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it. I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 Rangers on the way out. 10 Rangers, 5 men with .308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised big horners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good. In big battles, Caesar deploys his legionaries in waves. Recruits up front, prime soldiers behind the recruits, old guard bringing up the rear. Opponents wear themselves out dealing with the first two waves, if they survive that long. When the veterans step up, there's not much fight left. Caesar can adapt, though, and when required, he can run any mix of legionaries as skirmishers and still retain order in the ranks. Joshua Graham, Caesar's old legate, he wasn't so flexible. When the Legion attacked Hoover Dam, General Oliver ordered his troopers back to the middle ground just after first contact. Graham pushed all of the legionaries onto the dam, filling the east side with recruits up front and veterans in the back, by the book. But once they were in, they were stuck there. Oliver's troopers were entrenched and wouldn't give a foot. That's when we ordered the Rangers and the 1st Recon sharpshooters to start picking off veteran Legion officers from a high ridge west of the dam. That only lasted about a minute before Graham ordered the back ranks to push through to the front and rush the ridge. Caused total chaos among the younger legionaries. Oliver's troopers fell back to the side walkways and stayed out of the veterans' way. By the time the veterans got to the ridge, we were already in Boulder City. They followed us down there, but we were out before they realized what was happening. We had packed the old city with C4 and dynamite. Crude, but it did the job. Those who didn't die in the blast were in no position to mount a defense. The ones left on the dam didn't know what to do. The troopers routed them. Graham pulled the remaining legionaries back, but the battle was over. He went south, back to the Grand Canyon, back to Caesar. And that was the last we saw or heard from Joshua Graham. Shoot. Word is that the Legion's old-timers have shown up. Caesar's veterans from the Red Okie Centuria and what was the Painted Rock tribe. They're the best of the best and the baddest of the bad. Short of a Centurion or Praetorian, they don't come any tougher. You come across a pack of them, weigh your options carefully. Take a regular legionary and age him 10 years. Whatever they lose to age, they make up for with experience. Life expectancy isn't long in the Legion. You live 10 years in Caesar's army, you're a force to be reckoned with. There's no real equivalent to them in the NCR. Centurions are battle-born, elite officers who earn their rank with blood and sweat. They wear special outfits, too, pieced together from the armor of all their defeated enemies. Good commanders, tough opponents. Caesar's elite guard. They travel with him wherever he goes. A bit of insurance in case any of his guests get funny ideas. They aren't the toughest legionaries, but they're the most devoted to Caesar. They believe in everything the Legion stands for. Mojave Outpost sent word through the stations. The Rangers coming up from Baja moved through Dayglow a week ago. Some of the patrol rangers have reported that Oliver's power armor heavy troopers are starting to reinforce the front lines. Wish they got here a bit earlier, but that's a Senate for you. The Baja Rangers can do more advanced night scouting and sharpshooting to assist the troopers. Ranger combat helmets are old pre-war gear. They have built-in low-light optics. Makes a big difference. They have the best equipment the NCR can get its hands on. Power armor salvaged from our war with the Brotherhood. Techs strip out the joint servos so you don't need special training to wear it. It feels like you're carrying a Brahmin on your back, but it can take a heck of a lot of punishment. Shoot. The best of the best, and worst of the worst. He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse. Like a lot of the followers, he went out in the wilderness with a partner to try to help those who needed helping. Not much different from how the Rangers used to be, except with books and medicine instead of guns. Out to the Grand Canyon, he met a missionary from Utah, a man by the name of Joshua Graham. Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All three of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest. Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. And that's where Graham stayed until the Hoover Dam. Losing the dam was the worst defeat the Legion ever suffered. Graham had been with Caesar since the beginning, but he had to set an example. The Praetorians covered Graham in pitch, lit him on fire, and down into the Grand Canyon he went. It's not that clear-cut. You have to understand, Graham was the toughest son of a gun anyone around these parts had ever seen. Before Hoover, we had 5 kill reports on Graham from Rangers and 1st Recon sharpshooters who tried to take him out. Some folks think he's still alive. Call him the Burned Man. Yes and no. The Blackfoots don't exist anymore, just like any other tribe that gets swallowed by the Legion. Caesar takes the tribal out of the tribe. Scrapes and burns off tattoos, breaks up families, forces mixed breeding so all the old loyalties die away. The only tribe in the Legion is the Legion. Caesar is the chief, father, and God, all rolled into one. Shoot. Folks around here call me the chief, but handling's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water. It's a simple system when it works. Patrol Rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm Rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Gulf. Then I or one of the other Rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field. Comm Rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Gulf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel. I don't know Technical Sergeant Reyes, but coordinating intel can be messy sometimes. Things get mixed up, people get confused. Heck, I get confused, and I've been doing this for a long time now. What he or she sees as a problem might be standard operating procedure. That's not to say Reyes is wrong for being concerned, but it's easy for the sand to get in your eyes out here. Well, the logical thing to do is to check with the patrol rangers and comm officers. Don't be too discouraged if some things don't match up. Different people see different things, and sometimes the meaning gets twisted, lost in static from person to person. Interesting that she would wrangle someone else into sorting out the problem. But I suppose you're in the right place. A lot of intel comes through here. Hold on. If we're gonna have this conversation, let's go somewhere more private. Don't worry, not much bite left in this old dog.
Ain't that a said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I'd go crazy but keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful.
Yes.
She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick.
We got ourselves a little Ranger family reunion now. Time's right for a few.
Tell me quick. Ain't another kick in the head.
You're listening to Radio New Vegas, your little jukebox in the mall.
Sorting and manipulating intelligence is what I do. It's what Rangers are supposed to do. This job isn't all gunfighting and gulping shots of whiskey, no matter what the boys and ladies out there say.
This, according to an old man, are
You have you?
with dynamite. In other news,
Misdirection.
refugees
When you're pinned down, outnumbered, and 2 days from any help, it's just about the best friend you can have. Misdirection's what saved me all these years. It's what saved us at Hoover Dam. But it's been 5 years now, and Caesar's right across that lake. He's closer now than he ever was before. I was a young man once. I know what it's like to want to fight for your home. But this isn't it. It's never going to end. This fight with Caesar. People back home don't know what these young men and women are in for. The Legion is the worst enemy we've ever faced. But we can't stop Caesar here. Not without getting a lot of good people killed. More than anyone cares to count up. But even if we do stop him, I don't see how we're ever going to be able to pull out. We're fighting on their behalf, but Mr. House and the families are stringing us up inch by inch. They'll drain us dry while we fight and die over this dam. We offered them sanctuary in NCR territory before, but they won't listen. Troopers and Rangers have been dying here for more than 5 years while the families sit pretty behind that damn wall. People back home don't listen. They don't care. Senators, Brahmin barons, folks who are just trying to make it from day to day. It's been so many years that people forget about it. Conscription brings in fresh troops to die here every month, like a troop team. And even if we hold this dam, what then? Are we going to send the NCR's men and women to die here for another 5 years? 10? Patrol the whole length of the Colorado for hundreds of miles? Holding this dam, it'll be the death of us. Creating fear and instability among the troopers without causing harm. It's the only thing I could think of to shake things up. It took some people getting killed to realize I'd gone too far. I had to stop. First thing that comes to mind is to turn me in. But that might not be the best play, all things considered. Even if your heart's in the right place, I reckon it might do a lot more harm than good. Oliver can't stand that Rangers got credit for victory at Hoover. Whatever I recommend, he does the opposite. I said I wanted us on the ridge. He put them right on the western part of the dam itself. We don't have enough firepower to hold that spot. If the troopers fall back, and they will, the Rangers will advance to cover Oliver's retreat. We lose the dam, Oliver in the center of ruin.
Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome
It's a gamble either way. Even with Caesar gone, we still might not outlast the Legion. I suppose that's a risk I'll have to take. For our sake, I hope you're right. I guess that I should thank you for bringing me to my senses. So, thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna walk out that door and pretend we never had this talk.
And the Ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his head. It was over in a moment, and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his head. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his head. Be sure it's true when you say it's a sin to ever millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I love you, yes I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. 'Cause you got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell a lie. Whole lot of folks' heart is done been broken. Just over a whole lot of foolish words that's been spoken.
I love you, yes I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't
the hell are you? I know you weren't one of the inmates. There's some fire geckos in the lower levels of the vault. We need to get them gone so we can get to the sulfur. You go clear them out for us, and there'll be some caps for you. I have to keep an eye out on that bastard Lim. The second I turn my back, he might go crying to the NCR. So what do you say? You going to take care of those geckos? Explosives, bombs, big fucking bombs. You gonna help us or not? Great, get to it. Oh, and take this. There's some weird shit with this vault security, and some doors will only open if you have a key card.
The NCR. An RNV reporter was on hand to speak with the king.
I feel so bad. I think it's time we reconsider, baby.
In addition, Prem formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
People of Prim, the NCR wishes to inform you that you are under their jurisdiction now. And from now on, you're gonna be living by our rules.
Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury.
You're not one of us. What do you want? Fucking Cook has us trapped here. After we escaped from an NCR prison, he dragged us around the wasteland until we ended up in this shithole. A group of us want to leave, go back to the NCR and surrender. But Cook won't let us. I made my living sneaking into NCR camps looking for shit to steal. I got sloppy, and then I got caught. Made it out during Cook's big prison break, like the rest of the guys here. Samuel Cook. It was his idea to organize a jailbreak, but now he's just an overambitious prick who's gonna get us all killed. I can be pretty sneaky when I need to be, and the prison guards were a joke. So, when Cook told me his plan, I spread the info to anyone that might be useful. Alright, what do you want to know? If you can find a way to cut off access to the sulfur in the caves below the vault, I've got some caps waiting for you. I have to watch Cook. I wouldn't put it past him to just start killing the opposition, starting with me. Cook is planning to use the sulfur to make bigger explosives. You check out the caves and see if there's anything you can do. Without access to the sulfur, he'll lose what influence he has left with the men here. Thanks. Take his keycard. I tried hacking the locking mechanisms on the doors, but it seems the only way in is with one of these. Later.
Something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation.
Watching over the town now.
This just in. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. In other news, merchants are saying that there's been little contact between traders from Nipton in recent days, causing concerns that the isolated town may be in trouble. Boy, the Mojave Wasteland is just a fascinating place, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen next. Have you ever been in love with a celebrity? Now, come on, you don't have to be shy. I feel it between us two. Sometimes you can't help being mad about the boy.
Take him out.
Ain't loved it but my melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of sad about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord this odd diversity of misery and joy. I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because
I tried to measure my charisma on a Vitomatic vigor tester once. The machine burst into flames. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in a ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. Also, refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. You know they say that no business does, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. So, this next song is just magical. I hope you enjoy.
All mine.
Contact!
It's over.
I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number 3 was when you called me and said that you were coming back to stay. With hopeful heart I waited for you, knocked on the door. I waited, but you must have lost your way. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
All right. It's over.
Play it again, my Johnny. Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside. I was always a fool for my Johnny, for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you stay? I love you.
Prim's got some new sheriff watching over the town now.
We can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one.
I sure hope that explosion was you. Did you seal off the sulfur?
Johnny.
Good to hear. Without access to the sulfur, Cook doesn't have much to offer the gang. I guess it's over then. We can turn ourselves in. Thank you. I think I just needed to hear someone else say it. I suppose without rule of law, we're no better than raiders.
Have you wiped out those geckos yet?
Like the one they call.
It's a fucking death trap. If you're looking for humans, the Khans are north of us, and there's an NCR base at McCarran, past Vault 3. Supposedly, there are muties to the southeast.
Johnny Guitar.
time to get you some news. Beef prices around the New Vegas Strip have dropped significantly following an agreement between the Ultralux and Brahman Baron Heck Gunderson. Also in the headlines, listeners have been unable to pick up radio broadcasts from Black Mountain recently. Most are calling the static, quote, a welcome improvement. We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. Hey, New Vegas, have you ever said you love someone when it wasn't quite true? Sure you have, but you shouldn't, because it's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin. Have been broken just because these words were spoken. I
Hello.
yes, I love. If you break my heart,
Has the Brotherhood been found? And you believe them? Do you have any idea how long we've been fighting those bastards? Ugh, Crocker will have a field day with this. He'll want to establish diplomatic relations with them, for Pete's sake. But we've got more important matters to attend to. The President is due to arrive soon, and we're sure the Legion won't waste such an opportunity. I want you to assist the security detail we've prepared for the President. His safety is critical to maintaining the men's fighting spirit. Go up to the Visitor's Center and speak to Ranger Grant. He's in charge of security during the President's visit. Dismissed.
Whole lot of folks hard.
Evening.
That's Metro.
I love you. Yes, I if you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say
We've got a lot to do to
I
prepare for the President's visit, and not much time. Are you ready? Good. The President doesn't arrive until tomorrow. Get some rest. I'll brief you in the morning.
It's Mr. New Vegas.
Glad you could join us. Most of my men are already on duty, and the crowd has already started gathering outside. We've got a busy day ahead of us. The plan is to get through today without the shit hitting the fan. So I'll be overseeing the security team personally, and keeping in constant contact with people over the radio. It's a good bet that the Legion is gonna try something today, so we have to be prepared for anything. We'll do whatever it takes to get the President through this visit in one piece.
Religious ghouls in rockets looking for a land to call their own.
We trust you, so you're free to have your weapons. Just don't do anything too crazy, and we'll back you up. I have a full itinerary here. Here you go. The Legion will definitely try something. We don't have any solid leads yet. I'd almost expect something direct from them. Given the circumstances, there's a possibility of something more subtle, like sabotage. But since we don't have anything solid, we'll just have to keep our eyes out for anything out of the ordinary. Security detail consists of rangers stationed here at the dam. Some will keep an eye on the crowd while others will watch the perimeter. Snipers and sharpshooters have been assigned to key locations, and we also have a special canine unit sniffing out members of the crowd. I've also locked down access to critical locations, such as the landing platform on the Visitor Center. All right, I'll give you full access. Someone like you, I'm just glad to have you on board. Do whatever you can. Security sweeps, talk to people, keep an eye out.
there were no tomorrow.
President Kimball is arriving shortly. If you want to do any... Once you're ready, meet me outside on the observation deck. But don't take too long.
Our rangers are going to show everyone what happens when we're pissed off.
So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right.
If I was the assassin, I'd be up on that ridge. If I didn't care about escaping, maybe that near tower, or the landing pad behind us.
You're cleared to go on through.
Teach me all that a heart should know.
Not right now, I'm busy.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go.
Hey-o! He's coming to give a big fancy speech to all us. I'm pretty... He's giving me a medal.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling.
Nothing is going to happen to the president on my watch.
Love me. Don't ever let me go.
Again, Mr. New Vegas reminding you that you're nobody till somebody loves you, and that somebody is me. I love you. And now the news. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam.
Have you finished your security sweep? Looks like that's his vertibird coming right now. It's showtime. Let's not mess this up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some security procedures to oversee.
According to a new report, violent crime is on a sharp decline in New Vegas. The report credits the decline of the population of fiends in the area. In possibly related news, local chem dealers report an overall decrease in their standard of living. We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. Here's Bing Crosby reminding us of those times when you absolutely have to kiss the person you love. Something's gotta give. Up next.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live, something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine, don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna get kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight, 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 fight it with all of our
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for coming out here today for this very special occasion. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the President of the new California Republic, Aaron Kimball.
Thank you, fellow Californians, who have come so far to answer the call to service put forth by the Republic.
Radio New Vegas, your little jukebox in the Mojave Wasteland. I am Mr. New Vegas, and I'm here for you. We've got some news for you coming right up. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Moving on.
Report.
A big congratulations to a young band of soldiers who shattered NCR records.
Damn it. I can't believe the Legion actually got someone past our security. Good job catching them. I'll have a security team sweep the area to see if the Legion has any more surprises for us. I'm also canceling the President's speech. We'll have a security team get him out of here right away. But let's not relax until he's safe.
Deep down, you know, he's a good man. And his name is Johnny Guitar.
My Johnny, maybe you're cold, but you're so warm.
Good job today. The President out safe and sound.
For the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar.
I couldn't have done it without you. You have my thanks.
Go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar.
Sounds like we're running Prim now. I'd still rather take my leave at the Strip.
Is the President safe? Good. His death could have had a major impact on morale. This whole affair was ill-advised from the start, and I, for one, am glad it's over. While you were out, General... I'm not at liberty to divulge what was said, but I've been instructed to send you to him immediately. He set up his camp in the office area at the south end of this power plant. Dismissed.
Like the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar.
That fiend leader shouldn't have messed with our great army.
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Formally sworn in as sheriff today, RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
People of Prim, the NCR wishes to inform you that you are under their jurisdiction now. And from now on, you're gonna be living by our rules.
Moving on. Several unidentified aircraft were spotted flying
Fine by
over
me.
the REP contest site by a local crackpot. He spoke to a toy bear near one of our microphones.
It's ghouls, I tell you. Religious ghouls in rockets looking for a land to call their own. Don't laugh at me. I know a spell that'll make you show your true form. Cave Rat taught it to me.
Today's headlines were brought to you by Prem. Prem, the other New Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, this next...
We should get to the Hoover Dam. I don't want to miss this. Is that... All right. Yes.
Stars of the midnight ranges, shining through the night. Stars of the midnight ranges. Light my way tonight. While my herd is grazing, guide them till the dawn. Watch them while I'm sleeping. Till the stars are gone. Candles up in heaven, lend your light so strange. Guide my weary dogie. Stars of the midnight
The Death Claws have been keeping their distance, for now.
gentlemen, this is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. More news for you. Prim formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
People of Prim, the NCR wishes to inform you that you are under their jurisdiction now. And from now on, you're gonna be living by our rules.
Moving on. Rumors continue to swell that Mr. House, the father of New Vegas, has passed away. Who will fill the power vacuum on the Strip remains uncertain. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. This next song helped me through a very difficult time in my life, and I hope one day it can do the same for you.
You saw me without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon it turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Till the moment we met, I had no one to cling to be just everything. To be my own. If this is a dream, let me keep on dreaming. Where have you been all my heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me, every day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Number one was when you left me. I never knew I could hurt this way. And heartache number two was when you came back again. You came back but never meant to stay. Yes, I got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number three was when you called me and said that you were coming back to stay. With hope for all, I waited for you. I waited, but it's all too late. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Scavengers report hulking individuals moving around Hidden Valley after dusk, but have been unable to identify them due to low visibility. Moving on. The King's Gang in Freeside has put an official end to the hostilities with the NCR. An RNV reporter was on hand to speak with the King.
I feel so bad. I think it's time we reconsider, baby.
You know, I think all news, whether it's good or bad, brings us closer together. Don't you? Have you ever been in love with a celebrity? Now, come on, you don't have to be shy. I feel it between us two. Sometimes you can't help being mad about the boy.
but must admit sleepless nights I've had about the boy. On silver screen, he melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of sad about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of her first affair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the boy. Mad about the
Hey, it's Mr. New Vegas letting you know I've got a new Christmas compilation coming out soon. Nuclear Winter Wonderland. Look for it on holotape. I've got news for you. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Also, during his visit to Hoover Dam, an attempt on the life of NCR President Aaron Kimball was stopped by a quick-thinking civilian. Caesar's Legion is believed to have been behind the attack. Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury. More music just ahead.
As though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love.
You need something? Coming from anyone else, I'd say they were drunk or crazy. But that look in your eyes, I believe you. I can pay you, but it ain't much for what you pulled off. I'll get on the ham radio first thing and tell people all about you, though.
All that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow.
Hello. Hey there, what's new? Yeah? I can't believe you actually got one. Give me a bit to get the recipe set up, then talk to me again. This is incredibly good. Here's your omelet, and the recipe if you ever want to make your own. It takes a bit of skill to get it tasting right.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let
Hey there, what's new? Hey there, what's new? Give me a shout if you need.
Suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked at the moon, it turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
What can I do for you? That's... Prim wimped out and accepted NCR rule. Some people will do anything to feel safe.
And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. New Vegas here. You're all so great, and we're gonna keep you listening all day. We've got some news for you coming right up. A hostage crisis between the NCR and the Great Khans was resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully secured the hostages' release. In other news, a large unidentified aircraft has been seen circling the skies above the New Vegas Strip. Freesiders are hoping they'll drop food. But I wouldn't get your hopes up, Freesiders. You know, I think all news, whether it's good or bad, brings us closer together. Don't you? Coming up, I've got some tunes I think all of you are gonna like.
Sleep, go to sleep. Just lay down your weary head. Dream, sweetly dream. Dream about tomorrow instead. Sleep, go to sleep. Whispering a lullaby tune. Dream, sweetly dream. Swinging with the man in the moon. Why don't you go and take it slow? And don't you know all your lovely dreams will come true? So just close your eyes. Listen to a sweet lullaby. Sleep softly, sleep, and let the world go by.
Heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number one was when you left me. I never knew I could hurt this way. And heartache number two was when you came back again. You came back but never meant to stay. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number three was when you called must have lost your way. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Heartache number 3 was when you called me and said that you were coming back to stay. With hopeful heart I waited for you not long ago. I waited, but you must have lost your way. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. Yes, I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
I tried to measure my charisma on a Vitomatic vigor tester once. The machine burst into flames. This just in. Confirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. One more story for you. Witnesses report a huge object or creature surfacing in Lake Mead. So far, photos of the so-called Lake Mead monster are grainy and underexposed. These headlines were brought to you by Vault 21. Vault 21. Everything's better when you experience it in a vault. Got some songs coming up for you right now. At least one is probably about love.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love. somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone. Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I love you, yes I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. You got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell a lie, tell a lie. Whole lot of folks' heart is done been broken. There's over a whole lot of foolish words that's been spoken.
I love you, yes I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell.
Hey there, youngster. Thanks.
and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. In other news, rumors continue to swell that Mr. House, the father of New Vegas, has passed away. Who will fill the power vacuum on the Strip remains uncertain. Well, that's all I have for you. This is Mr. New Vegas wishing you ladylike luck tonight. This next song is just